Let's talk about a huge shift that's happening right now. We are moving away from a world where humans make all the decisions to one where smart, autonomous AI doesn't just help us out, it actually acts for us. We're going to explore this whole journey from human overload all the way to machine autonomy.
So, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll look at the limits of human decision-making. Then, we'll dive into how algorithms change the game. After that, we'll see what happens when automation gets a brain. We'll also cover the essential guardrails we need to control it all. And finally, we'll look at what our shared future with AI looks like.
All right, let's kick things off with a feeling I bet you know all too well, being totally and completely overwhelmed. I mean, we face this endless river of choices every single day. And frankly, our brains have hit a wall.
And the scale of this is just mind-blowing. It's estimated that you, the average person, make about 35,000 decisions a day. Think about that. That's a new choice you have to make every 2.5 seconds that you're awake. It's no wonder we're all feeling so burned out.
You know, this constant mental drain actually has a name: decision fatigue. And it's not just about feeling a little tired. It's a real, genuine impairment of our ability to think clearly. The more choices we have to make, the worse we actually get at making good ones. This right here is the bottleneck that technology is desperately trying to solve.
And that brings us perfectly to the first big technological fix, the rise of algorithms. This is the point where we started handing off decisions to machines that could operate at a speed and a scale that we humans, well, we just can't compete with.
And when you put them side by side, the difference is just night and day. Human decisions, we're slow, we get tired, and our biases creep in. But algorithms, they work in milliseconds. They can scale up to handle basically anything, and they give you the same consistent result every single time. No bad days, no getting emotional, no mistakes from being tired. And look, this advantage isn't just a nice to have. In really high-stakes fields like finance or online shopping, every single microsecond of speed can be turned directly into profit. It's like the slide says, speed becomes literal money. And this isn't some futuristic idea. It is happening right now, at a scale that's hard to even wrap your head around. Uber's pricing algorithms, they're making 10 million decisions every single day. Amazon's recommendation engine drives over a third of everything people buy on the site. And Google's ad platform, it uses algorithms to manage an incredible $280 billion every year.
But just having algorithms make simple decisions was really only the beginning. The next leap forward is what happens when automation gets a brain. We're talking about AI that doesn't just follow a script, but actively works towards a goal. And this has a name, agentic AI. The key word, the one that changes everything here, is autonomously. An agentic AI is designed to be goal-driven, and it can act all on its own on behalf of a company. This is a massive shift from thinking of AI as just a passive tool to seeing it as an active decision-making agent out there in the world.
This chart from Gartner really shows the journey that we're on. See, over on the left, you've got your simple systems, like basic chatbots. They just react to things. But way over on the right, you have these high-agency AIs that can plan ahead and tackle really complex goals. The big challenge for everyone right now is crossing that AI agency gap you see in the middle. So how does this stuff actually work? Well, it's a pretty simple but super powerful three-step loop. First, the AI senses what's going on by looking at data. Second, it plans out a course of action to reach its goal. And third, it acts on that plan, all without a human having to approve every little step. Okay, but when you give an AI that much freedom, that much autonomy, well, it creates a whole new set of risks. This kind of power absolutely demands a new level of control. We have to build some serious guardrails to keep these powerful systems on the right track.
And the dangers here are very real. We're talking about things like smart malware that can think for itself, or the huge problem of poor quality data leading to bad outcomes. And then there's the famous black box problem, where we don't even know how the AI is making its choices. This is where we need a much more organized approach.
And that new structured approach is called decision intelligence. This is less about just writing code and more about engineering the entire decision-making process from the ground up. It's a mix of data science, social science, and even philosophy to build systems that are not only powerful, but also safe and reliable.
So the main idea here is that you're not just building an algorithm, you're designing the whole workflow. The goal is to create a transparent process where humans have clear points to step in and oversee things. Basically, turning that scary AI black box into a glass box that we can actually understand and, more importantly, trust.
So this all leads us to the final, and I think the most important stage of this whole transformation, our hybrid future. And let me be clear, this isn't about AI replacing us. It's about a brand new, radical kind of collaboration between humans and intelligent machines.
And this brings us to the big question, right? The one that's probably on your mind. With AI this powerful, are we humans on our way out as decision makers?
And the answer, pretty emphatically, is no. The goal isn't replacement, it's augmentation. The best way to think about agentic AI is as a highly competent teammate. It takes care of all the massive, complex operational stuff, which frees us up to focus on what we humans are uniquely good at: high-level strategy, real creativity, and making tough ethical calls.
And the technology itself is actually evolving to support this exact kind of teamwork. The next big thing on the horizon is something called large process models, or LPMs. The whole idea is to combine the creative, pattern-spotting ability of today's language models with the rock-solid logic and reliability of older systems. You get the best of both worlds, an AI that's not just smart, but also trustworthy.
So, when you boil it all down, the biggest challenge we face isn't a technical one. It's not about building a smarter AI. It's about us. It's about whether we can learn to become better collaborators with these new kinds of intelligence. So the real question is, are we ready for that?